So my final research project was about the relationship between general anesthesia components and their side effects. And my variables were the different anesthesia components, the dependent, the side effects, and the control one that everybody had the same type of anesthesia. Then my research question was what was the relationship between general anesthesia components and their side effects in Mexicans. And my hypothesis was if the components and the side effects of general anesthesia are related, then you can inform future patients. And my objective was to determine the relationship between general anesthesia components and their side effects. So I think this is really important because you know which component causes the most side effects, either common ones or severe ones, then you can improve patients' recovery and care, and you can make ways to make the process easier for the patients. So my theoretical framework was divided in two main sections. That was the introduction that says that general anesthesia is a drug with a lot of many components used to make patients go into a surgical procedure, and it is the way that we use. There is not another way for large procedures, and the most severe side effects and the common side effects, they can come either from vomiting and shivering and sleepiness, or to death, blood clots, consciousness under anesthesia. So there are a lot of side effects. So there are three main components in general anesthesia. The first one is the hypnotic, that is the component that makes you go unconscious throughout all the procedure, and the most common ones, the most used in intravenous way, are propofol, thiopental, etomidate, and ketamine. Then there are the analgesics, that are the ones that make you don't feel pain. They block your pain receptors, and they are usually used an opioid and a non-opioid. And the most used ones are morphine, fentanyl, and hydromorphine. And the other drugs are muscle relaxants that help relax your muscles by blocking the receptors. And the three most common ones are succinylcholine, vecuronium, and rocuronium. And each of them has a lot of various side effects. Then, for the methodology, my research level was correlational and descriptive because I wanted to find the relationship between the components and the side effects, and to describe which was the worst one. Also, my research design was quasi-experimental because I used some of the information that has already been researched and studied, and I made my own study. And my experimental design, I use for my experiment the materials, internet, a computer, a place to write down your information, a text library to find information, somewhere to analyze data, either Excel or Doc or from Google, and a place to research all your information like Google and internet connection. And what I did was I first research and make all my theoretical background, and then I did a survey that had questions that were the independent variables and the side effects, and then I analyzed them and draw conclusions. So for the gender question, most of the people I surveyed were female. Or most people had their surgeries at the age of 10 to 19, but we need to consider that most of the people that answered this survey were young, so that's why probably no one had had surgery for 60 years old or more. Also, the duration of the surgery, almost all of them were from 1 hour to almost 2 hours. That isn't really long. And the number of surgeries, most people had one surgery. So the most common side effect that these people had was sleepiness, then chills and shivering, dry mouth, and nausea and vomiting. So a lot of people had side effects, and almost none of them had non-side effects. And from the severe ones, almost anybody had them, but a lot of them had postoperative delirium and consciousness under anesthesia that are severe. So later on in my analysis, I made comparison between all the in all the things that could affect the side effects, like gender, age when the procedure was done, and all that. And I also found the relationship with each side effect and the component that is most likely to cause it. And either it was very common or uncommon side effect, and either it was a common or severe side effect. So what I found out is that the component that causes most of the common side effects are phentermine and hydromorphone, followed by morphine, and all of these are analgesics, are the ones that help you don't have pain. Then the ones that causes the most of severe side effects were morphine and thiopental. That one is an analgesic and the other one is a hypnotic. And from the muscle relaxants, the one that causes most side effects was succinylcholine, and from hypnotics it was thiopental followed by propofol. So we can conclude that from all of these, the ones that cause most side effects are analgesics, and especially morphine. So from the other factors that we studied, the one that seems to affect the most was gender. And a previous research that I found said that females were the ones that had most side effects. And the second factor that affected the most was the number of surgeries. That makes a lot of sense because with more surgeries that you have, more side effects you have had, because it is more probable you have had more times to have had side effects. So what was really impressive was that only 4.7 of the people that answered the survey didn't have any common side effect. That is almost everyone. And 76.6% of the people that answered the survey didn't have a severe side effect. So this is a lot of people that have had common side effects, and that is preoccupying because it is not very dangerous, but it is a lot and it affects the recovery and it is tough. And a lot of people also suffer severe side effects because these side effects shouldn't be that common because they could threaten your life and affect a lot in your recovery period and how you get out of surgery. And these are all my references. So that's it.